Many years ago, in the beautiful, vibrant city of Lagos, there lived a very handsome, rich, well-learned, well-spoken billionaire named Coca. Coca was the spec for everybody. Coca was greatly admired by most young ladies. They saw him as the most eligible bachelor. He was someone every parent wanted their child to get married to. Coca was rich, influential, highly respected, and had so many businesses far and near Nigeria. He was dealing and making a lot of money. Coca, on the other hand, had a very beautiful lady he wanted to get married to. Her name was Winifred. Winifred and Coca had known far back university days. Coca wanted to establish himself before getting married to Winifred, as Coca had dreamt of an elaborate wedding. He wanted a wedding that was going to be on the lips of everyone. He wanted his wedding to be that type of wedding that everyone had something to say about it. How the catering services stood out, how the wedding gown was the best in the town, how his seat stood out. Coca loved luxury and he worked in luxury. He wanted everything about him to speak luxury. And that was the major reason he delayed his wedding. Even though he was the only heir to his parents' company, Coca still wanted to make money for himself so that he could spend it the way he chose to. As the days went by, after Coca and Winifred had gotten married in the most expensive way, Winifred was living her dream life. Coca had instructed her that she didn't need to work if she doesn't want to work, as he was bringing lots of money home. To him, there was no need for Winifred to work. All she needed to do was to live in the house, live her best life, and live the baby girl lifestyle he wanted to give to her. Winifred, on the other hand, knew that she, being at home every day, was going to make her bored. So she insisted that she was going to work and not for Coca's company. She was going to work in a bank since she was an accountant and was going to live her life the way she wanted. Though Coca had told her that he also needed an accountant in his company, but Winifred told him, if we work in the same place, we won't have anything to gist. We won't have anything to talk about. We'll keep talking about the same thing over and over again. It is better I work in a different environment so I can have something to come back and tell you. It's not reporting to you as if you're my boss. It's going to get tiring, you know. Coca understood and granted her wish. The moment Winifred said she wanted to return back to the banking sector, Coca helped her to climb up the ladder. She became one of the biggest directors in one of the biggest banks there in Lagos, Nigeria. Coca made sure she was living her dream life. He worshipped the ground Winifred stepped on. He wanted anyone that sees his wife should be able to say something good about Winifred as he lavishes on her. Winifred never repeated any clothes unless she said she liked that clothes. Coca was always changing her clothes on a regular, always asking designers brand to change his wife's clothes. He even got her a stylist. Winifred practically went to work because she wanted to work, not because of anything. Coca made sure to supply and give her whatsoever she needed. He always gifted her the latest phone, the latest car. Winifred was everything every lady wanted. The life she lived, the way she carried herself, most lady envied her and said, wow, she looks so beautiful. Very curvy. The way she walked with dignity, the way she presents herself. You couldn't say rubbish about her. She was enjoying her husband's money, and that was what Coca wanted. But behind closed doors, there was something terrible Coca was doing. No one knew about it. Coca was into the beauty line. He produces beautiful creams, soap, and so many others. Under disguise that they were organic products, good for beautiful people. He had different varieties ranging from Morocco whitening cream and so many others. People loved his products because they felt that this product was working wonders. The moment you apply his Morocco whitening cream, you gradually tone from a dark skin to a lighter skin. He had different celebrities helping to push his product into the market, helping to model his product. He even had a one-stop shop where you could pick your product of any choice. Coca made his business so beautiful and elegant. He used the best packaging material. He used the best models to model his product. Everything Coca did, he did them flawlessly. And aside that, Coca also had the best lawyer. One day, a new secretary had walked into his office, and her name was Tessie. Tessie had come from a very poor background, very poor background. But the moment she walked into Coca's office, Coca had asked her to be his personal assistant. Tessie was excited because this offer came with a higher pay and even a car, as Coca doesn't like being late, and he needed his PA to be up and doing at every point in time. Not just that, Tessie had all this thing, she also had the opportunity to visit Coca's home whenever Coca asked her to deliver something to him. Now, this gave Tessie the opportunity to go deep and know if Coca's products were genuine for what he said those products were. She wanted to know if Coca was doing the right thing or producing jargons and flaunting wealth where he didn't fit. Tessie was a cosmetic chemist and wanted to work in Coca's beauty lab. She wanted to be in charge of the production of cream and carrying out various tests to make sure that this cream was good for whoever was using it. But when she had applied to Coca's beauty empire, there was no space for a cosmetic chemist, so she couldn't get the position. But she quickly found out that Coca was looking for a secretary for one of his managers, and she quickly applied. Being that she had a very good CV, she got the space of the secretary. And after working for the manager for a period of 2 years, Coca needed someone to take up the post of his personal assistant, as his personal assistant had resigned. Tessie also applied for the space and got it, as she had been given various awards as one of the best secretary in Coca's beauty empire. So Coca immediately took her as his personal assistant. After Coca took her as the personal assistant, her salary was increased. Not just that her salary was increased, she was also given a car. She was also given an accommodation closer to the place, as Coca does not and has never liked someone who comes to work late. Even at 0.001 seconds, Coca was going to flare up. Tessie's main dream was to work as a cosmetic chemist and not a PA. But as she applied for the position of Coca's PA, she did that with the intention that if there was a space or an opening for a cosmetic chemist in the lab, she was going to be the first person to get the opportunity, as that was her dream job. Something that bothered Tessie was that none of Coca's cosmetic chemists had ever resigned. For the period she had been working, none had gone on sick leave. It was like Coca had a strict rule for them. They were never short-staffed. They all left at the same time and came in at the same time. There was a serious rule for those people working as Coca's cosmetic chemist. These cosmetic chemists had also signed a non-disclosure agreement before they were given the job, as Coca never wanted anyone to report him for anything, and he wanted to be sure that whatsoever practices that were carried out was never said outside the building. Tessie really wanted to find out what was going on there. She wanted to be sure that Coca was doing the right thing, as to every organization Tessie has stepped her leg in, if they weren't doing the right thing, she was going to look for a way to expose them. Tessie had a social media page called Burn It Down. Her work as a Burn It Down content creator was to expose the deadly and terrible things people did in their company, the terrible practices people carried out in their company, and that was why she chose Coca Beauty Empire. The moment she exposes any company for what they had done, most people come to her social media page and suggest another beauty empire that was doing wrong, or a particular organization that they felt that wasn't doing something right. So she had to go work there and find out if what the people are saying is true or not. And the moment she found out that what they are saying is true, she was going to look for concrete evidence to expose such an organization. Whereas for Coca Beauty Empire, it was very difficult because Coca had strict rules governing his place. People on the top couldn't go down, people on the down couldn't go up. You maintain your particular sector. You are not supposed to be found where you're not wanted. But for Tessie, Tessie was ready to break rules, provided she was going to prove a point from something. She needed to get into the lab. She needed to get into the production sector to know if the products they used to produce their cream were actually organic or not. All attempts of getting into the lab never ever worked out, as whenever she tried, something was going to happen and it was going to turn out to be a failed mission. One fateful day, Coca had instructed her to call the director of the production sector as he needed to have a meeting with him. Rather than Tessie giving him a phone call as usual, she decided to go inform him herself. On getting there, after passing the information to the director of the producing sector, she used the opportunity to sneak into the lab. She covered herself properly, maintaining all necessary procedure for coverage. The moment she entered into the production sector, she found out that there was nothing organic Coca was using in his beauty production. She was really terrified. She was angry. She was devastated. And she tried to take little pictures that she could before she gets caught. Or before Coca found out that she was not even sitting on her desk. She took pictures, and when she got back to her desk, she kept on feeling bittered with what she had seen. She was really feeling bad. The chemical products she had seen down there were strong chemical products. Long-term use of this product could cause skin cancer. So why is Coca using it to produce cream? Knowing fully well that the moment people believed that this product was working for them, they were going to keep using it. He knew the dangers. He knew everything. After work for that day, when Tessie got back home, she kept on thinking of how to get other evidences to back up what she had seen. She needed people who had used this product and had died, or people who had used it and they are undergoing one treatment or the other. She needed to gather a lot of evidence in order to bring down Coca's beauty empire, but she didn't know how to do it, as Coca was someone that kept his slate clean. He made sure to settle everybody that came his way. He had people in the police sector. He had people in the political sector. He had so many people. In fact, Coca had bought a lot of people when it comes to the higher ranking staffs. So how was she going to be able to get her evidence? Over the period of time she had worked as Coca PA, Coca had never sent her to go settle anybody. Probably the person had come to say his product wasn't good and needed settlement. Coca had never involved her in his dirty businesses. So who was Coca using for all these things? She needed to find a way out of this. How can Coca be killing souls and smiling about it, eating his money, living the best life with his wife? She needed to prove that Coca's beauty empire weren't doing what they said they were doing. Started digging. She started looking for files. She started looking for documents, things that were going to implicate Coca, but there was no way out. As the moment this products, this raw material, this ingredient gets to Nigeria, there was someone who was going to change the names of this product, relabel them with a different name, so no one could suspect. No one even knew that he wasn't using the right product. Still went back to Coca's desk, trying to get any paper, maybe a settlement paper he had used to settle somebody, something to implicate him. No way. Coca never ever left anything undone. He always made sure to settle everybody and burn every evidence. That was something Coca was very good at. And that was the reason why Coca came to work every single day. He did all his dirty shit himself. He made sure to meet whosoever had any complaint, and when he found out it was due to his product, he settles them, finalizes everything, and no one was going to hear any single thing. That was how good Coca was when it comes to playing dirty. Tessie started thinking of ways. She cracked her brain, looked for ways to prove that Coca's product was bad, but there was no way. It got that bad that she started even sneaking into Coca's house, trying to buy the attention of the gatesman to know if there was something he was noticing, but no one said anything, and she couldn't prove it. One fateful day, she got a call from her sister. Her sister was terribly ill and was in the clinic. On arrival to the clinic, she noticed that her sister was really, really down. And when she had asked the doctor what was wrong with her sister, the doctor had told her that her sister had developed skin cancer. And not just that her sister had developed skin cancer, her sister was about to lose her organs as her kidney was bad. Tessie was shocked and she quickly asked her sister, I don't get what's going on. Why are you sick? And why am I hearing about skin cancer? Are you taking strong chemicals? What are you doing? Her sister told her, no, I've been living a very good and righteous life. I exercise every day. I take my meds. I do everything that everybody does. And Tessie asked her, so what's the problem? And her sister told her, I don't know. That evening, she had made up her mind to drop everything concerning Coca Beauty Empire and focus on her sick sister. She wasn't ready to lose her sister while chasing Coca Beauty Empire. So she told herself that she was going to always come stay with her sister, try to help her sister fight what was wrong with her. After she was done paying an upfront for her sister's medical bill, she decided to go visit her sister's home to get clothes for her sister to stay in the clinic. On getting there, she saw Coca's cream in her sister's room and she was shocked. Does my sister use Coca's products? And how come I never knew? Because she doesn't look white, she's looking normal. So she quickly packaged the cream and went to visit her sister in the clinic. When she returned back to the clinic, she asked her sister, is this the cream you use? To which her sister said, yes, that's the cream I use. Tessie became angry. She became upset, having remembered everything she had seen down in the production sector. And she asked her sister, how long have you been using this cream? To which her sister told her, I've used it for over 5 years now. That's the cream I've been using. The moment everyone said the cream was good, I started using it. Moreover, you know all the big celebrities that advertise this cream. You know that the cream is working. It's maintaining my skin color. Tessie broke down in tears. And she quickly carried the cream, turned it into a different container, and she promised herself that she was going to do all necessary tests on that cream to confirm that the cream wasn't the reason for her sister's sickness. So she quickly carried the cream to one of her best friend's lab in order to carry out all necessary tests for the cream. The moment she got to her friend's lab, she asked her friend to please help her carry out all necessary tests on the cream. She wanted to be sure if the cream was good for people to use. She had even lied to her friend that she was the one producing this particular cream and this was a sample pack and she wanted to just confirm before she gave a final go. To which her friend told her, no problem. Obviously, I will help you do that. What are friends for? But after a few days of her friend carrying out the necessary test, her friend had given her a feedback that the cream was highly dangerous on human skin. Long-term use of this cream was going to cause skin cancer. Aside that, it was going to cause a lot of things. Tessie then knew that the reason her sister was sick was because of Coca's cream. Her sister was the evidence she needed to bring Coca down. But how was she going to do it? She could not just go post her sister's picture and all the chemicals she had seen in the lab. She needed other concrete evidences, other things that could help her gather her own points. She was really devastated. But she told herself never to give up. She was going to look for a way and she was going to do it and do it right. With this, Tessie decided to buy the love of Coca's wife, Winifred. She bought Winifred love in such a way that Winifred trusted her with so much. Whenever she comes to the house to deliver information to Coca, she was going to sneak and visit Winifred, gifting her things, greeting her, and gradually Winifred saw her as a trustworthy staff. She also asked Tessie to help handle some little taxes for her. With time, Tessie gradually started even helping to buy groceries for the house. Whenever she was coming to the house, she was going to quickly call Winifred and say she was coming over to give some information to the boss. And Winifred will use the opportunity to tell her to get 1 or 2 stuffs for her. And with time, Winifred also ensured her beauty products to Tessie, instructing her where to help pick them from. Coca always asked his wife if she trusted Tessie, to which Winifred will always tell him, she looks like a good girl. I'm not sure she can harm me in any way. Unknown to her, Tessie was looking for the perfect way to strike, the perfect time to pay back everything her husband was doing. Tessie gradually started switching Winifred's cream. Whenever Winifred asked her to go get a cream for her, Tessie was going to pour Coca's products into the container of the cream. She was going to empty the particular cream into a WC and pour Coca's products inside that same container. And she made sure they smell alike. And she was really good in cosmetics, so she knew everything to do. While she was doing all these things, she always recorded herself and kept it as an evidence because she wanted to know if Winifred was also going to come down with skin cancer. She wanted to know if this same product was going to affect Winifred. At first, when Winifred had told her to go get cream for her and some other beauty products, she was sure that Winifred wasn't using her husband's product. How can people advertise product for your husband and you're not using them? She thought to herself. Then she decided on her own to make Winifred to start using her husband's products in order to know if the product was harmful too. That was when Tessie also told herself, so all the celebrities that advertise the products, don't use them. They only come, advertise, and they get high pay for it, whereas they don't use them. They don't know the damage it's causing on human souls. They don't even know if those products are 100% good for who they're advertising it to. Tessie was really, really upset. Tessie, being the best and perfect PA to Coca and his wife, and also switching her cream on a regular basis. One fateful day, Winifred woke up feeling very dizzy and she was seriously vomiting. When she was rushed to the hospital, after carrying out a series of tests, it was found out that she was pregnant. But the doctor had also told her that there was a very serious issue, that she had cancer. Winifred was shocked. Cancer? How? Where? Where is it coming from? I can't. I live a very healthy life. And the doctor told her, you have a skin cancer. Winifred was really, really shocked, as they had seen a whole lot difference in her body. Though she was getting slim, she felt it was because she was dieting and working out and doing other things, but she never ever knew that something was eating her up. After the doctor had carried out unnecessary tests, Tessie had come to visit her one day and she broke the pin to Tessie. And Tessie quickly asked her, are you sure it's not from the cream you're using? And Winifred said it can't be. That cream is a very good cream. So why am I going to have cancer from that? And Tessie told her, okay, no problem. Why not carry the remaining cream and take it to the lab and find out what is wrong with you? And it was at that point that Winifred found out that the cream was very, very dangerous. Highly dangerous for woman's skin. And she was shocked. And she told herself, this can't be. She quickly went to buy another cream. And that was when she found out that the cream were not the same. And she quickly knew it would be Tessie. So she quickly invited Tessie over, pretending that she never knew or suspected that Tessie was the reason behind this whole thing. While they were talking, she asked Tessie, why do you hate me so much? Tessie looked at her and said, no, I don't. Winifred said, then why did you switch my cream? For the past how many years, you've been giving me the wrong cream. Why? Tessie looked at her and said, no, I've been giving you the right cream. Winifred quickly went upstairs and brought the two creams, the one Tessie always got for her and the one she had just gotten recently. Tessie laughed and told her, wow, I never knew you were going to catch up so quick. So, your husband makes cream and you don't use it. I've not been giving you the wrong cream. I just quickly found out that you were using a different product. So I gave you your husband's cream to use. But the same thing with your line, the same way you want your cream to be, I just made sure that I got it from your husband's company. So are you trying to tell me that your husband's cream gave you skin cancer? Really? This is a terrible thing. Winifred was shocked, looking at Tessie in a very devastated manner. What are you trying to say? Tessie looked at her and said, the cream that I've been putting inside this container belongs to your husband. I can bring all the evidence for you. I found out you're not using his cream, so I wanted you to use his cream. You should be a good PR brand for your husband. So your husband's cream gives people cancer, and he knows, because my sister died. She died from skin cancer. So I vowed that I was going to make sure that one of his family members also used his cream to know if that cream was good. Winifred was very offended. She tried standing up to punch Tessie. She was really offended, but before she could stand up to do anything, Tessie left and told her, don't worry, you can bring the case to court. I know your husband had bought so many judges and everything, but this time around, he's not going to win. Do you know why? You're involved. You, his wife, you are involved. So let's see how he's going to win. And now I'm going to use the opportunity to post this for the whole world to see that Coca Beauty Empire is fake. Everything he does is fake. He has killed a lot of life and paid people huge sum of money to close their mouths. Now his wife is going to feel the same thing he has been doing to people. Tessie left. But the moment she got to her house, she packed all her belongings and left her house, knowing fully well that Coca was going to send his boys for her head. When Coca returned home, he met his wife Winifred seriously crying, and when he asked her what the matter was, Winifred decided not to say anything about Tessie, knowing fully well that the truth was that her husband was a wicked person. She promised herself that she wasn't going to call out Tessie's name, knowing fully well that Tessie did this out of pain. And she quickly asked her husband, Coca, my love, what do you produce? Do you produce organic cream? Coca looked at his wife so shocked, as Winifred had never ever asked him such a question. And she said, you see, I am dying today because of you. I am dying today because of you. I've been using your cream for over how many months? And I just got to the hospital and I found out that I am pregnant, but at the same time, I have skin cancer. And it's all thanks to you, Coca. You made me pregnant and you want to kill me at the same time. Coca was shocked. He knew his wife wasn't using his products. And he quickly asked her, I don't understand. You don't use my products, so why are you putting the blames on me? Winifred looked at him and said, I've always used your products. I only turn it into a different container. I've always wanted to support you. But now, you've killed me. You've taken my joy. You've taken my life. You've taken everything. Coca broke down in tears. He cried and wailed, cried and cried. Coca flew his wife to the best hospital in India, brought her back. He could not save his baby, neither could he save his wife, as he lost both his wife and lost his baby. Not just that, Tessie used the opportunity to post every evidence she had about Coca. With this, Coca lost a lot. He lost his family, he lost his huge business that he had worked so hard to get, and Coca became Richard, very, very poor. While sitting in his poor-looking living room, he thought about everything he has done. He thought about how he wanted to rise to fame so quick that he paid little or no attention to what he was producing. And even when he knew that these products were harmful, he did not even bother. To him, he was cashing out and cashing out real good, and that was what mattered to him. Now he had lost everything within a twinkle of an eye. Not just that he lost everything, he also lost his wife. This was his greatest shame, his greatest failure ever. Even though his parents had tried to come console him and help him stand back on his feet, Coca had vowed never to go or do things the wrong way, knowing fully well that what goes around comes around. He thought it was okay to harm other people, but he never knew that one day that same thing was going to come back and harm his home. Thank you very much for listening to the story of the day. Before I leave you, I would like to drop one or two. Do you think what Tessie did was bad? Do you think that exchanging Winifred cream was bad? Do you think that she would have confronted the situation in another way? Do you also think that Winifred did the right thing by not talking about Tessie to her husband? Do you think she did the right thing by taking all the blame to herself, not even involving Tessie for one day? Please, I would like you to share your thoughts on this story. Tell us what you've learned. We still remain your favorite storyteller, Zika. Please do not forget to support us by subscribing, liking, turning on the notification bell. Until we see you again in our next story. Bye for now.